the scenario of reverse engineering, hitting those sales numbers, I would imagine there's like a sentiment from sales leadership and the sales team to say, okay, like things are working. Like my reps are busy. They're on the demos. They're on the right type of, they're having the right types of conversations. We're closing, deals at a higher velocity than we were in the past. Do you like, if you're starting this out and starting to like really think about this different approach and more intentional approach to delivering to your sales team, what's the communication through the process with sales leadership or reps on the team? Like, how do you kind of measure maybe before the experiment is over if things are working or not?
So we'll measure some of those leading indicators, specifically things like, the percentage of conversion from somebody who requests a demo to somebody who actually attends the demo, right? That's an indicator of quality. Also, how fast they convert. Another one is, do they self-schedule versus us having to reach out to the sales, having to reach out to them and schedule, right? There's different conversion rates for each one of those. So like sort of the top of the top are going to be the ones that are, coming to the website, asking to talk to sales by requesting a demo and self-scheduling and specifically picking a time within a few days, right? On a rep's calendar. And that, by far, is going to convert at the highest rate. And then there are varying degrees of, conversion, underneath that. And so, I thought it was interesting what you said. You said, sales reps, like I'm busy, or sales leaders, or I'm busy, et cetera, et cetera. It's my experience, like the leaders that really get it are almost as concerned about the conversion rate and the quality level as I am on the marketing side. Because they know it makes their sales team more efficient, and they know that the pipeline is going to speed up, right? They know all of these things are going to happen. And so it, sort of busyness factor is one of those measurements, but it's almost sort of a sub metric to, the quality level of, how many of these high intent guys are going to come through, or requests are going to come through. And then of those, how many are going to actually convert? Because, when they're thinking about like sales related CAC, right? The size of their team, how many they've got to measure, all of that kind of stuff really sort of comes into play when you can figure out, like the way to close. Like if you're closing at 2x, 3x better, right? Than, your next best sort of lead source. And, as a sales leader, you're asking the questions that marketing is asking, right? Which automatically creates alignment, right? In that conversation, because they want it as bad as you do, maybe more, right? Because that level of quality is there, and it makes them, frankly, it just makes them look like heroes, right? They're closing crazy great, like the rates are going way up, a lot. Like sales, it's the funniest thing, and I'm sure you can appreciate this, but sales will look at it and say, look how great we're doing. Right. Yeah. And,
Always.
It's all us, like our close rates, we're getting it, like our pitches are down, like they'll point to all of the things, right? Except for, the lead quality that they're getting. And, it's human nature, and I totally get it. But the KPIs sort of help level set some of that and say, okay, look, like what we're looking for are these kinds of leads. And then we're looking at marketing tactics that will scale more of that kind of behavior, right? And then it becomes a sales and marketing conversation, and instead of just, sales or marketing in a silo.
I think any marketer out there probably smiled when you said that, because we've all been in that position, and it's probably the ultimate market B2B or just marketing in general inside joke.